about 20 years ago. I have the privilege of training and consulting with technology companies all around the world. I've been in 6 continents with the work I do, and just really have enjoyed large technology companies like the big IBMs and Red Hats and Microsoft, but also a lot of their small business partners as well. And small business, because my commercial banking was in small business, I've always had a heart for the small business owner as well. And
it's the 5th startup that I've been involved in. Most of my background is in sales and marketing, and most of my experience is with selling to large companies. So
I founded Hebron Academy, the NGO that helps underprivileged children and youth, mostly orphans, with education in software engineering, computer science, and then we started HebronSoft. So now I'm CEO of HebronSoft, a software company. It's a solution and service provider.
Predominantly in the aerospace business with the space shuttle and the space station programs out at the Kennedy Space Center, as well as the design centers in California when I first started my career.
well, the third area that I want to point out is helping your community. And I do want to spend just a little bit of time talking about that. The communities where we live, the communities where we work, and the communities that we serve. So Liliya, would you please share about the social responsibility that HebronSoft was founded on and how you are addressing a need in your community?
Yeah, sure. So we first started Hebron, the NGO, and only in a year HebronSoft was started because we saw a need of placing the Hebron students, grads, interns into practical tasks and providing them marketable skills. So Hebron is an IT academy where we provide free education, housing, accommodation, medicine for those who are less privileged, less privileged, for mostly orphans in Ukraine and underprivileged youth, 18 plus years. It's a 2-year program, and we try to teach not only professional skills, but also spiritual. We invest a lot into spiritual side as well as physical side, because a lot of the children come, as we know, was broken destinies, and also health-wise not in good shapes. So and it's also, we try to be a kind of hope for them and provide the education that they will not be able to get because it's quite expensive and impossible to get into high-ranking universities, institutions. So that's basically about Hebron. HebronSoft was started a year after Hebron was started, and once again I mentioned that HebronSoft serves as a source of financial support to Hebron students, internship, and then employment. But we are not the only, HebronSoft is not the only employee of Hebron graduates. They are welcome to go to any other company. They usually prefer to work at HebronSoft because they feel a sense of family, community. And when we talk about help, right, today the topic is stop selling and start helping. When we try to help clients, right, we unite our teams. So help for us is also about uniting people. When we help our clients, right, it's about uniting teams. When we help our community, it's about uniting the people and uniting our employees. So for me, help kind of is quietly is like sorry, I got a message, but it's more about uniting people to be kind of selfish and more and concentrating more on others.
Very good. Shift to concentrating on others instead of yourself, isn't it?
Yeah.
That's a good part of the underlying basis of reaching out. James and Pete, you're advisory board members like I am, and we're pro bono. We're not charging Liliya for our time and help. So how else are you two reaching out to others and serving your community in some way?
Yeah, I mean, I'm happy to answer that. I think it's important that, like, we think Coherent Path is helping the community. Like, we're helping digital marketing organizations compete with Amazon, right? So in America, in which Gap and LL Bean and Bloomingdale's and all these great retailers die, is not a better version of America. That's like Stalinist Russia if you only can shop at Amazon, right? If there's only one store, I promise you the quality will go down, you know? So, or Stalinist Ukraine, maybe, Liliya. I don't know. You might know better than me. But so we're trying to use our day job as a way to help to preserve and to promote a better version of our culture. So I think that's important. It's important for me anyway. But it is true that we have more than our day jobs, and so helping out with stuff like HebronSoft is great. My wife and I adopted a child, which is great. You know, we help out with a number of different organizations around adoption. Some of you might have heard of Safe Families and things like that. So we're interested in adoption as well. My parents, I have 16 adopted brothers and sisters as well. So you know, it's near and dear.
Yes, that's for sure. Great. Pete, how about you?
Well, I've you know, my wife and I talk sometimes about you know, the Bible says helping the widows and the orphans is pure religion, and so we've had a heart for the orphans in Ukraine for a number of years. We've adopted 2 girls from Ukraine, and we actually adopted 1 girl from Russia as well. So we adopted 3, and we've continued to try to help other orphans that haven't got adopted in Ukraine now with HebronSoft. So it seemed like that was just such a great merging of things that happened, that if some of the orphans didn't get adopted in Ukraine, but they showed a lot of promise, that HebronSoft is an organization where you can't save them all, but you can save a few. And here's an opportunity where HebronSoft provides that opportunity to some of those orphans to learn a trade, learn a skill, learn a great skill, IT, and get certified in IT. And then as they go into industry, obviously they can contribute back in some way. And so that's a positive thing. It's interesting too that in our local community, there was a restaurant that opened up called La Crave, and my wife and I started going there a little bit. We met the proprietor, and he was an immigrant with his wife from Vietnam, and he had a side business called Lay Engineering. And he would come to me, and he knew I was a former program manager, and he'd come to me asking, well, how do you get business? What do you do? And he really wanted to use me a lot. And I thought, okay, I'll help you out where I can, you know. And I provided him a book on proposal preparation, and he wants me to also help him. And he did get a job out of the Cape where he's doing a little piece of software for a crew access arm. And I'm not sure exactly what it is, but he had 10 or 12 employees working for him to write the code for one of these mechanisms out at the Space Center. And of course, he's anxious to grow his business, and he wants me to help him. And I thought, well, yeah, I'll help out there. And if the last thing we wanted to do was, or one of the things we wanted to do was help out one of the charities in our community previously known as Brevard Rescue, where it was women that were in distress situations with their significant other, their husbands or boyfriends, and they had no way out. And this was a charity that would take these women in along with their kids and then provide them a skill set as well, training and a year-long program to then become a productive member of the community, separate from this bad relationship, abusive relationship they're in. So we've been involved in those kinds of things, and that's where you're either a taker or a giver in society, and there's lots of takers out there, not enough givers. And the more we can give, the better society will be. And especially now in this environment of the pandemic, I think there's a lot of opportunities to be a giver in the community. And so I encourage everybody to find where their gifts are, where they can give back to the community. And that's a few things that my wife and I have been doing.
Thank you, all three of you, for those personal experiences as far as giving to our community. And I've got a last point on that, is more of a suggestion, and that is that if our listeners are interested in becoming more socially responsible, finding out what your associates feel is important. Where are they already giving on their on the side, on their personal time? What are they doing for their community? You can not only encourage them in that way, but you may find a new campaign or a new cause. It doesn't have to be a whole bunch of them, but I've been able to help a couple of local missions as well. I teach a Jobs for Life class, going to be doing that tonight for folks who are disadvantaged. 8 out of 10 of them have been incarcerated, so they're having trouble finding a job because they have to check that little box that says, have you ever been convicted of a felony? And they have. Well, 8 out of 10 of them have. So they've got to get over that roadblock and move on with their life. And I hope to be able to help them with that.